Something is silently taking shape. It makes no noise, gives no obvious signs, but its presence is undeniable. February 2nd, 2026, does not arrive as just another date on the calendar. It comes as a cosmic pause, a moment in which everything seems to stop just before it transforms. There are moments when the universe neither pushes nor pulls, it observes, and this is one of those moments. The 02 repeats, reflects, folds in on itself. That symmetry is not aesthetic, it's vibrational, it's a language. And today, that language is speaking to you because something within you is already ready to hear it. Most people don't perceive it because they see numbers as dead figures, but double number portals don't exist to be seen. They exist to be crossed. They don't mark the passage of time. They pierce it. They open a fissure in the usual structure of reality, a narrow strip where what you desire and what you fear are no longer separated by years or by effort. In that threshold, the distance between idea and experience shrinks to an internal decision. What once felt far away begins to feel possible. What once seemed blocked begins to loosen. The number 2 doesn't act alone. It vibrates in pairs, in encounters, in delicate balances. It's the frequency of connection, of exchange, of fine-tuning between opposites. It speaks of relationships, yes, but also of the relationship you have with yourself. When this vibration repeats 4 times in a single date, its effect doesn't add up. It expands. It's not a whisper from the universe. It's a direct call, not for everyone, only for those ready to respond. This call carries even more weight because it happens in 2026, a year that vibrates with the energy of the number 1 beginning, direction, primary impulse. Everything starts anew, not from naivety, but from awareness. The portal of February 2nd acts like the first stroke on untouched ground. What matters is not so much what you ask for, but where you're asking from. Intentions formed here don't dissolve with time. They embed, emotions released don't return with the same force. Wounds you choose to face no longer steer your decisions from the shadows. What comes next is not isolated information. It's applied understanding. You will grasp how these portals interact with your personal field, why certain dates act as invisible accelerators, and how to use this moment without forcing it, without complex rituals, without unrealistic expectations. The portal doesn't demand blind faith. It demands presence. It opens for all, but not all cross through. The question isn't whether the threshold exists. The question is whether you're willing to step through. To grasp the magnitude of the 02 portal, you must let go of the idea that numbers are mere abstractions. In the deep architecture of the universe, double numbers function as energetic nodes, points where usual rules relax and reality becomes more malleable. It's not magic, it's coherence. These are moments when the system responds more sensitively to conscious intention. Picture your life as an ocean in constant motion. Most of the time, you navigate its surface, reacting to external currents, adapting to tides beyond your control. But during a double number portal, something different happens. A vertical current emerges from the depths. It doesn't move you sideways. It connects you inwardly. That inner axis allows access to levels where time doesn't behave linearly and where every sustained thought gains specific weight. February 2nd, 2026 intensifies this effect in a unique way. The sum of its digits leads to the number 5. The vibration of irreversible change, of freedom that doesn't ask permission, of transformation that doesn't negotiate. That's why this portal isn't here to offer gentle adjustments. It comes to dismantle what is no longer authentic and to reorganize your life around a more truthful axis. There's an even finer nuance to this date. The 4 2s create 2 energetic mirrors. One projects your past into the present, revealing patterns still at play, without your awareness. The other projects your present into the future, showing the direct consequences of your current choices. Between these two mirrors, a point of convergence forms, a suspended instant where everything meets. There, time stops being a line and becomes a space, and it's in that space where the improbable becomes accessible. Modern physics has observed that at the subatomic level, reality is undefined until it is observed. Particles exist in multiple possible states simultaneously. Only observation collapses those possibilities into a concrete experience. The 02 portal mirrors this principle in your everyday life. For a few precise hours, your future is not fixed. Multiple possible versions of your path coexist, and it is your attention, not desperate wishing, but clarity, that determines which one solidifies. This is where many fall behind. They wait to be chosen, wait for an external sign, wait for something to happen without getting involved. But the universe doesn't reward passive waiting. The portal doesn't do the work for you. It facilitates it. It amplifies what you've already defined internally. It accelerates what you've had the courage to name. If there's no direction, it magnifies confusion. If there's coherence, it multiplies the results. The activation of this portal does not begin on February 2nd. It begins now, in the silent days that precede it. It is during this preliminary stretch that the inner terrain is adjusted. Your energetic system needs to be freed from old residues, from burdens that have already served their purpose. Unresolved resentment, lingering guilt, fears that stifle your vital impulse. All of that introduces noise into your vibrational field. And when there is noise, the signal you send and the one you receive becomes distorted. Imagine a misaligned receiver. The signal may be clear, powerful, flawless, but if the antenna is off axis, only interference comes through. The 0202 portal emits an especially pure frequency. It doesn't force, it doesn't push, it doesn't correct, it simply is. The quality of what you receive depends entirely on the state of your own inner receiver. Cleansing doesn't begin by doing more, but by recognizing what no longer belongs to you, inherited beliefs you accepted without question, other people's opinions you adopted as your own truths, past episodes you continue to carry as irrefutable evidence of who you are. All of this takes up space, and that space could be available for something different, something aligned with the version of you that's ready to emerge. The number 2 governs the realm of connection. That's why this portal will illuminate the relational sphere with particular intensity. Unexpected encounters may happen effortlessly. Old bonds may suddenly reveal their true shape without embellishment or projection. Some relationships will find a new balance. Others will reach their natural conclusion. Nothing happens as punishment. Everything happens as recalibration. This portal functions like a developer. It doesn't create new images. It reveals the ones that were already latent. It clarifies what's blurry. It defines what's ambiguous. But the connection that will be most deeply exposed is not external. It's the one you have with yourself. The way you speak to yourself when no one is listening. The internal tone with which you correct, demand, or support yourself. The mirror of 02 doesn't soften or exaggerate. It reflects precisely. If harshness is your internal language, reality will tend to return friction. If compassion and patience have begun to take up that space, the external response will align with that frequency. It's not morality, it's resonance. There is a specific way to work consciously with this energy. It's known as a declaration of resonance. Unlike traditional affirmations, which attempt to impose an idea on a mind that hasn't yet integrated it, this practice doesn't persuade, it recognizes. It doesn't project a future identity. It names an essential truth already present. The difference is decisive. Saying, "I am prosperous," often triggers immediate inner objection. The mind compares, doubts, resists. In contrast, acknowledging that you carry the same energy that organizes life, expands systems, and sustains creation, does not generate friction. It's not fantasy. It's recognition. Your body, your consciousness, and the universe share the same fundamental substance. The 0202 portal amplifies these kinds of declarations not due to mysticism, but because it reduces the distance between the internal and the external. During this threshold, clear intention encounters fewer obstacles, processes condense. What once required long detours may take shape more fluidly, not because time speeds up, but because resistance decreases. Many will feel this approach before understanding it. The body often anticipates sensations in the chest, currents along the spine, vivid dreams, nighttime awakenings with unusual clarity. These are adjustments, signs that the energetic system is already tuning to a different frequency. Don't try to neutralize these manifestations. Don't force them into an immediate rational explanation. Observe them. Welcome them. The body understands before the mind. It is preparing to hold a greater intensity of energy and information. Any discomforts that appear are temporary and will dissolve once the integration is complete. The exact moment of the portal has its own coherence. The peak occurs at 2:02 a.m. on February 2nd, 2026, when the numerical symmetry is fully expressed. However, this is not a fleeting instant you might miss. The portal opens at midnight and closes gradually after sunset. The process does not require vigilance or extreme effort. It requires presence. How you experience it will be personal. Some will feel a lightness, as if something released without warning. Others may feel pressure in the solar plexus or the brow. Others, simply an uncommon mental clarity. All responses are valid. There is no correct experience. Each system interacts with the frequency according to its own structure. There is one effect that permeates nearly all experiences of this portal and is hard to miss: the intensification of synchronicities, those improbable encounters, those meaningful coincidences that don't fit into linear logic. A message arriving just as you were thinking about someone, a crucial piece of information appearing at the perfect moment, a blockage dissolving without apparent reason. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. The universe uses this language when alignment is real, and during the 0202 portal, that language becomes insistent, clear, impossible to ignore. On that day, numbers will begin to surround you. On clocks, receipts, license plates, screens, incoming calls. Don't see them as mere figures. Each repetition is a signal of adjustment. Seeing 222 speaks of invisible support holding up your projects. Coming across 0202 indicates that your internal rhythm is in sync with the pulse of the portal. The 2222 sequence signals that deep balance is beginning to be restored where once there was tension or disorder. This isn't superstition, it's symbolic coherence manifesting in the material world. However, the true impact of this portal is not limited to subtle signs or internal perceptions. Its effect also filters into the tangible structure of your life. Matters that have been stuck for months may start to move effortlessly. Postponed decisions may become clear with unexpected precision. Old fears lose weight, not because you confront them, but because they no longer make sense. The portal doesn't work through isolated layers. It operates simultaneously across all levels. Body, emotion, mind, and consciousness receive a silent reconfiguration. To make the most of this day with clarity, it's wise to resist a common impulse. The urge to rush, trying to change everything at once, scatters your energy. This portal responds better to focus than to urgency. Choose one single area of your life, just one. Health, relationships, resources, purpose, creative expression, no more. When your attention is complete, the effect multiplies. Once that area is defined, formulate your intention with internal precision, not from lack, but from direction. Asking to feel better is too vague. The system responds to flexible clarity. It's not about controlling the outcome, but about setting a course. Instead of demanding specific forms, declare the function you want to activate. Leave space for the solution to arrive through paths you can't yet imagine. The most powerful act of this portal requires no objects or settings. It doesn't depend on external symbols, but on presence. Find a moment on February 2nd when you can be alone, uninterrupted, for at least 20 minutes. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and begin by giving thanks, not for what you wish to receive, but for what you've already received. Prior gratitude isn't spiritual politeness. It's a key that opens the channels of reception. Then, allow two inner images to form two doors in front of you. The one on the left represents continuity, life. If everything remains the same habits, the same reactions, the same unquestioned limits, observe it without rejection, acknowledge it. Then, direct your attention to the door on the right. Behind it lies a different version of your life, more coherent, more aligned, more faithful to what you know you're capable of sustaining. Don't idealize it, simply sense it. Then take a single conscious step toward that second door. Nothing more. That symbolic gesture is enough. It marks an internal choice, and the portal amplifies clear choices. What was once a faint intention gains weight. What was a possibility begins to organize itself into reality. After that moment, return to your day with an open attitude, without excessive watchfulness. Don't chase signs. Don't force outcomes. The response doesn't need to be sought. It manifests when there's space. Your only task is to remain available, attentive, without rigidity. The rest is not up to you. The days that follow are part of the same process. The energy activated on February 2nd does not dissipate immediately. It continues integrating over the following weeks. You may feel deep fatigue, as if your body is asking for longer pauses. Emotions without apparent cause may arise. Waves of sensitivity, spontaneous tears, moments of unexpected relief. These are not setbacks. They are signs of reorganization. During this period, take care of your pace. Rest more, hydrate better. Reduce exposure to noise, haste, and draining environments. If possible, seek contact with nature. The system needs calm to settle into its new configuration. Honoring that need is not weakness. It's deep intelligence. There is a warning that cannot be overlooked. The 0202 portal does not discriminate. It doesn't choose what to amplify and what to ignore. It intensifies everything it finds active within you. If you arrive at this day carrying resentment, that resentment will seek expression. If you enter dominated by anxiety, the anxiety will grow louder. That's why emotional cleansing beforehand is not a minor detail. It's the foundation. It's not about suppressing discomfort, but about recognizing it and letting it go before creating space for something new. You don't invite light into a room without first removing what no longer serves. The true beauty of this portal lies in its absolute neutrality. It doesn't reward spiritual hierarchies or demand inner credentials. It doesn't distinguish between someone who has been seeking for years and someone who's just beginning to question. It offers exactly the same opening to everyone. The difference doesn't lie in merit. It lies in awareness, in the ability to realize that something is happening and to choose to participate. Awareness transforms an event into an experience. And now, you have it. Hearing these words places you in a different space, not as a burden, but as a subtle privilege. You know something others overlook. You sense a movement many don't perceive. That clarity allows you to act with intention, where others simply react to effects without understanding the cause. The portal promises nothing. but it responds with precision to those who approach it with clarity, respect, and openness. The miracles that may arise might not match some grand or spectacular idea. They don't always come with fireworks. Sometimes, they take the form of an unexpected conversation that changes an entire direction, of a fear that dissolves without confrontation, of a door that opens without noise, of a thought that stops repeating itself. Pay attention to the small shifts. They are the ones that announce deep transformations. None of this comes by chance. The 02 portal appears in your life because something in you has called it in, a part that knows it's no longer time to settle, that intuits more is available, that understands, even if not always in words, that miracles are not reserved for others. February 2nd, 2026 will be marked as a turning point, not because the universe whimsically chooses to favor you, but because you choose to be present, because you choose awareness over inertia, participation over waiting, openness over closure. That choice changes everything. Double numbers will continue to appear after the portal closes. Each time you see 0202 on a clock, remember this moment. Remember the decision you made. Remember that you have the capacity to transform your reality. Those numbers will become silent signals, constant reminders that coherence exists and that you are part of it. Don't forget this. The greatest miracle is not outside of you. It is you, your presence here, your attention, your genuine desire to grow and align with something more truthful. That impulse is sacred, and the universe recognizes it. If this message has resonated with you, share it with those you love. Every person who comes across it through you also receives a possibility for transformation, and acts of generosity never go unnoticed in the invisible architecture of reality. If you want to continue deepening these messages, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Each piece of content is born from conscious work, offering you clear guidance in key moments. Your support, your comments, and your presence make it possible for this path to continue and expand. The portal is opening. The opportunity is here. The only question left is simple. Are you willing to receive what is already on its way?